It was the year 2023 when I made a video titled Brutally Honest Honkai Star Rail Beginner Tier List, which is debatably the worst video of my YouTube career. This video has by far the most dislikes I've ever had on any video, sitting at a clean 836. Now, I've since privated this video, but in this video, I made probably one of the worst tier lists known to humankind. If I remember correctly, I think the main problems that people had with this video were the fact that I put QQ and C tier, I think was the first one. Then I think people are also upset that I put Natasha and Fire Trailblazer in B tier, I think was the second problem. And there was like a million other issues with the video. It was poorly edited and I didn't explain my takes very well. But today, we are going to make a tier list that nobody disagrees with. Today, we are going to be making my 2.0 tier list. And of course, being the meta-defining content creator that I am, this is going to be the only tier list you ever need to succeed in Honkai Star Rail. And when we're finished, we are going to be comparing it to the Pridden.gg tier list, which is the tier list that kind of everybody uses as the general rankings because they are the website that does the most research and is the most specific and defining when deciding their tier list rankings. Now, Pridden has 3 tier lists. They have Amplifier, Supporter, and DPS. We will not be doing that. I will just be doing S, A, B, C, D and ranking them based on my own personal opinion because I can. Oh, and also quickly, before we do start today's video and you smash that dislike button because you already disagree with a character that I put somewhere, please consider subscribing. We're trying to hit 100,000 and I really would appreciate it if you could go down, hit that subscribe button. But let's make our tier list. So let's get the easy ones out of the way first, like the easy S tiers. Like where is Fushuan? Easy S tier. Easy S tier, Fushuan clears. Jing Liu, easy S tier, she clears. Sparkle, easy S tier. I don't care what you say. If you think Sparkle is anything less than S tier, you can fight me. And I guess because I put Sparkle in S tier, I have to put Bronya in the tier below because Bronya is just a worse Sparkle. Sorry, Bronya, is how it is. And Ruan Mei. Eat that, Ruan Mei lovers. Yeah, A tier. Damn straight. No, fine. I'll put her in S tier. She does deserve to probably be an S tier. Kafka, I'm like tempted to put in S tier, but I can see an argument for Kafka being A tier. But she is like the best Nihility unit in the game, and she honestly amplifies so many other characters. And personally, she has carried me in my own personal series, so I'm going to slap her in S tier as well. And now, things get a little tough. Those were all the easy characters. Now we actually have to make like tough decisions. Oh god, where do I even start with these characters? Let's start maybe with a couple of the healers. I think healers are pretty easy to determine just because there is only so many of them. That, of course, being Natasha, Lynx, Luocha, Bailu, and Huhu. And in terms of where they rank, Luocha and Huhu, of course, have to be above these 3 characters. Let's start out with these 2. I think we can put them in S tier. I don't think that they're as great of a supporter as Fushuan is, but they're still really solid in like almost every bit of content in the game. So I think we gotta slap them in that S tier. Then for like the rest of these characters, I want to say Lynx and Bailu are definitely better than Natasha is. Bailu has like the little revive thing, which is kind of cool. And Lynx gives you like healing over time, dispelling debuffs. Lynx has a lot more variety to her kit than Natasha does. Natasha's still good, really good, but she's outclassed by a lot of characters now, in my opinion. So I think I can pretty safely put Bailu and Lynx in A tier and then Natasha in B tier. Okay, no, Natasha C tier. No, B tier. Oh no, I'm starting so many problems right now, man. Oh god. Why am I making this video? And since we're on the topic anyways, let's just finish off the rest of the sustainers being March, Gepard, and Fire MC. We'll use the male Trailblazer for Fire MC, and then I guess female Trailblazer can be physical. But let's see here. I'd say Gepard is definitely better than the other 2, so I think we can slap him in A tier. As for the other 2, I'd say that they're on the same level as Natasha, so I think that is a fair ranking. As for physical Trailblazer, yeah, we can slide physical Trailblazer into the C tier. That being said, I did see a YouTube channel yesterday that soloed Honkai Star Rail with physical Trailblazer, and that blew my mind. So, debatably B tier, but we'll leave them in C. Regular Don Hang, debatably B. I think Xu Shang's a little bit better, to be honest, and Dan Heng has a pretty basic kit. I don't honestly think he's all that much better than Physical Trailblazers, so we'll put him in C and Xu Shang in B. I think that's fair. Oh man, but if I learned anything from my last video, when I put Fire Trailblazer in B tier, everybody was pissed at me, bro. Oh god. Y'all don't know how many comments I got about Fire Trailblazer and how good he is. And honestly, because of that trauma, and I don't want to catch heat again, we're just gonna put him in A tier. Just to be safe. Just to be safe. Hook, C tier. What does Hook even do? I've never played this character, to be honest. Is she good? She's a destruction character. She can do flame, DOT. But truthfully, I've never met anyone in my life who has played a Hook. Next up, let's do the whole Nihility gang. Now, I have got to be a Nihility expert. I mean, I have like a whole 20 episode series on it. So I know my things about Nihility characters. And I'm telling you, my judgment on Nihility characters is flawless. So let's see, who do we got here? Silverwolf, Black Swan, Sampo, Gwenhyphen, Luca, Pela, and Welt. Okay, well, none of them are as good as the top 7. So I think we can clear S tier. I don't think any of them are as good as the top 7 are there. So the highest we're going is A tier. I think a couple easy A tiers. Black Swan, Silverwolf, Welt, all easy A tiers. Pela, easy A tier. That's simple. A little bit worse than them would probably be Sampo, Luca, and honestly Gwenhyphen. I'd say all 3 of those characters deserve to be in at least the B tier. And I'm not gonna lie, Fire Trailblazer is kind of sticking out like a sore thumb in the A tier, but I'm not catching any more smoke for Fire Trailblazer, so he's staying in that A tier. Okay, we got 2 interesting characters here, Himiko and Herta. Now, these 2 used to be really, really bad, but with the addition of Pure Fiction, I'd say they're debatably A tier. Don't get me wrong, in Memory of Chaos, they're like completely useless. They're like completely mediocre in Memory of Chaos, but they're so useful in Pure Fiction that, man, it's honestly debatable if they're A tier. I think overall their usage would be B tier, but I really do like them in that Pure Fiction. So in Pure Fiction, they're up here, but generally their use, I'd say for most content in the game besides Pure Fiction, like Simulated Universe, Memory of Chaos, boss fights, just overworld, I'd say they're definitely B tier. Same thing with Arlon. I'd say he's definitely B tier. Argenti, again, is another one of those characters who's like super good in Pure Fiction, but he's not really good anywhere else. That being said, I think he's a little more useful than the other characters in this tier, so we'll definitely slap him in A tier. Okay, next up, we're doing the Harmony Cleanse. We're ranking the rest of the Harmony characters, mainly the 4 stars because we already did the 5 stars. Those 4 stars being Yukong, Asta, Tingyun, and Hanya, all really, really solid units. I think the standout among them is Yukong. I don't find Yukong all that useful, especially with, you know, Bronya and Sparkle now being out. I think she's good, but she's not as good as she used to be. She's a very skill point heavy character, which doesn't work with a lot of teams I have, so I think she's gonna go B tier. As for the rest of these 3, I really like Hanya, but again, Sparkle's an S, Bronya's an A, so I kind of have to put Hanya in B. And then Tingyun and Asta, those are both easy A's for me. Tingyun, goated, always has been. Asta, I haven't built her yet, but from what I've seen on the internet, apparently you can do like some crazy stuff with Asta and speed tuning, so I'm gonna put her in A. Now we have 3 interesting characters, Qingque and Bairulune Sele. All 3 of them got better with the release of Sparkle, but on their own, I still don't know if they're as good as the top 7 are. I'd say Bairulune could probably fight for that top spot. I don't think the other 2 could, but I think Bairulune could arguably be an S tier character. I don't think he's as good as Jing Liu is, but with the addition of Sparkle, I think there's an argument to be made there. So I'm gonna put Bairulune in S tier. As for Qingque and Sele, I think if I put Qingque and anything less than Sele is, then I probably am gonna start beef with the Qingque main community, which is an extremely large community if anybody was wondering. So I'm just gonna put them both in A tier to make the safe play. Next up is Blade. Now I'm gonna keep it a buck. I had no idea how to play Blade until like a week ago. I had him on an attack crit build until like a week ago when my comments called me dumb. So I feel like I don't have the right to speak on this character, but I am anyways. We're gonna put him in A tier. Any other easy A tiers among our last characters here? Topaz, easy A tier. Dr. Ratio, easy A tier. Yongqing, I say Yongqing's more of a B tier type character. He's a good hunt DPS, but is he as good as Dr. Ratio? Is he as good as Topaz? Short answer, no. B tier. Serval, man, I really like Serval. I think she's a cool character. I really like pairing Kafka and Serval together. That's like one of my favorite pairings in the game. But you know what? I put like every other Kafka support, like Sampo and Gwenifin in B tier, so I kind of have to put Serval here too. Clara is probably a little better than all the characters in B tier. We can slide her in A tier. Misha, I'm sorry, Misha's so bad. Misha's going in C tier. Honestly, there's probably a debate for him to be in D tier, but I'm saving D tier for a specific character. Who's this character again? I don't even remember. What class even is she? I have no idea. Who is that? Zuiye. I have no idea who this is. We're leaving her in the bottom because I kind of forgot she was a character. And then for our last character, Jing Yuan. Yeah. What are you going to do about a Jing Yuan mains? Come at me. No, I'm just playing. He's at least A tier, debatably. Honestly, maybe B tier? Nah, we're slapping him in D tier. I feel like it. And there we go. We have the official Kekvin tier list. Screenshot this, save it to your phone book because this will be the best tier list video you ever see. Now let's compare it to the Peridian.gg tier list. Let's see here. What do they have? Oh, they actually have 4 categories: Sustain, Amplifier, Specialist, and Damage Dealer. What does Specialist mean? Oh, like Nihility characters. Interesting. And they have 2 separate modes. Oh, they have 2 separate modes? Why didn't I do this? One for Pure Fiction, one for Memory of Chaos. Okay, let's just look at Memory of Chaos because that's more what I was talking about. Okay, so I got most of the S tiers correct. They actually have an S plus tier. I didn't add a S plus, but it looks like I'm mostly good. And Biber Lune, Jing Liu, Kafka, Ruan Mei, Sparkle, and Fushuan. I had all those characters at my top tier. We're good. I did notice that they put Jing Yuan in S tier. I'm gonna have to disagree there. Sorry, Jing Yuan mains. What about like our lowest tiers? What are we saying? D tier, we have Yongqing in D tier. Hey, you can't do my boy like that. He ain't that bad. Come on. Along with Physical, MC, and Arlon. Where's Fire Trailblazer? C tier. Ha! Eat that, Fire Trailblazer. You know what? I'm putting him where he belongs. Down to C tier, you disgrace of a character. I don't want to see another comment about Fire Trailblazer on this YouTube page. Other than that, though, I feel like this mostly reflects the tiers that I made. So I'd say, pretty successful tier list. Anyways, with that being said, let me know what changes you would have made to this tier list, and also, let me know if I should ever cook again. But anyways, guys, that's going to be all from me. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and please do not take this too seriously. I am mostly just poking fun because that's what I like to do. I don't like to take the meta stuff too seriously. But anyways, that's all for me. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to see you all next time. Peace.